And voila, welcome to the WEVO Secret. Heather from Toronto, Canada, Rewired Worldwide.
Wonderful and welcome and greetings. It's always an honor to co-host with Brett, founder of WEVO Global, and myself, Heather Ramsey, founder of Rewired Worldwide. I'm going to briefly, shorter than usual, start differently, which is to ask you one question. And this kind of covers all WEVO possibilities. And yet it goes direct to action. And I'm hoping your fingers are on the keyboards ready to type something in the chat for us, which is, what one act in the last week or month or since you've been part of the WEVO conversation have you done that's from this new paradigm as opposed to the old? One act in business or in life that shocked you, that pleased you, that you got, wow, this is a new me, and it might have just been influenced, care, and connect. Love the headline, Jason, and I bet you have a specific example. And I'm going to give you one that just happened in the last 24 hours, and I wouldn't normally even share this, but we are real, authentic, and vulnerable in the WEVO tribe, which is, for the last week, I thought I was onboarding a new client, and he, bless his heart, got triggered when we moved. He felt connected in terms of how he was going to serve him, the epic changes we were going to get in his life. And then the moment we shifted to logistics of, contracts and dates and times and Google Calendar and all that stuff, and he would confess that it doesn't have a lot of business acumen yet. And that was partly why he wanted to work with me. But regardless, he got triggered by that and felt disconnected. And why would he want to start working with somebody if he felt disconnected? And so he, like that, after 99% of a week of connecting, 1 moment, he felt disconnected and therefore made it about our relationship and therefore declined working together. Now, an old self, I'm not saying mine or otherwise, but an old self would have you at worst case scenario, or defend the ego, which I had a moment of ego arising, like, what's going on? And yet what I did was no strings attached. I offered him a gratis time to mine the gold and create a breakthrough for him. It's unknown yet whether he's going to accept that, but to me, that's an example of living in the new paradigm, because it isn't about, we all need to make cash, but it isn't about the cash for me. My role, self-declared, is to be part of the human wake-up team. Yep. So when somebody falls asleep, i.e. gets triggered, do I leave them, or do I do my job even better by actually creating a breakthrough for them? So that's never thought I'd share it. Here I am vulnerably sharing, and I'm going to go back to the chat box briefly to see any highlights before I tag team to Brett. So
holy moly, wait until you see the intention for this week.
Oh my God, I love it.
What you just said about wake up. Wait till you see the intention.
Love it. So 3 times. That's awesome, Jason. Love you, caring and connecting. Somebody made my bed for the first time. You're hilarious, Brett. Jason, Brett, Christy, and I made our beds daily. Oh, even our 6 and 8 year. Look at this, Last, before I tag team, Ed Foreman, one of mid-80s, one of many of our mentors. One of the key things he does in his daily success plan is make his bed, because then everything feels complete. It's completion action. And
exactly.
I love that. I'd read it all, but I'm going to just tag guest giving, waking up for Mikasa Harmony for WEVO team. Nice, Vina. Lovely, Uncle Eddie. Jason, you're hilarious. And 5 more. Blessings to all. That is my custom kickoff. And without further ado, the man who has inspired us all to live from the new paradigm. Without further ado, Mr. Brett Labit.
Thank you, Heather, and greetings, everybody. So excited to be with you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get rocking. Galena's here. Say hi. Say hi. Get on the screen. There she is.
Hi guys.
And David's back here.
Yep.
People out in the room there. We got Westside Deli in the house. We have Karen from Kitchener, Canada. We've got Stephen, Marjorie. Tim is in Colorado. Man, it's great to be with you guys. We're kicking off a whole new series. Each series, you're going to find that we're going to continue evolving. It's We Evolve, right? That's WEVO. I'm excited because not only am I bringing information and is Heather bringing information and are we all bringing information into the mastermind with each other, but each week, every moment, every day through awareness, we're waking up more and more and we're learning more and we're bringing that into this concept of high vibing, thriving tribe. Today's going to be, we're starting at WEVO DNA number 1, which is awareness. You've seen it as awareness of higher self. You've seen it as self-awareness. You've seen it as the awareness of the 4 agreements. And what we continue to do is figure out and learn exactly what the DNA of this DNA is. And we do it. Someone asked me yesterday, Brett, what books are you reading? I go, oh, you opened a jar here. Let me give you the long answer and then I'll give you the short answer. I definitely read books. I take input. I study. But what they really were asking, and I clarified as I said, are you asking who my mentors are? And they said, well, yeah. And I said, well, I have a handful of people in my mastermind that I collaborate with. But my biggest mentor is cause and effect. It's awareness. It's observing. It's being the observer of myself, of my higher self, of life, of the interaction between people, of cause and effect. So I often say that, struggle can be, and oftentimes is, the teacher, and cause and effect is the university. And so if we're paying attention in this wonderful university of life, we actually learn these certain things to be really immutable truths in our life that we apply to create more of the effect we want. So let's just get into it today. WEVO is an invite-only social network to accelerate life and business growth. It's really quite simple who we are. I got a phone call yesterday from a gentleman that is the senior executive producer of a large show. I won't mention the show right now because this isn't concrete yet, but they have 3 million viewers in 160 countries. And he said, look, I had researched WEVO and I researched you, and what you're doing is not only a game changer, but from our perspective, you are the next evolution in social media and social networking. And when we find companies like yours and movements like yours, we want to highlight that because our show is popular because we catch the trends before they happen and then deliver them to our audience. And so we've got an opportunity to be in front of 3 million people worldwide in 160 countries to share what other people are calling the evolution of social networking. So when I say WEVO is an invite-only social network to accelerate life and business growth, understand in the big picture in the world, we are leading. We're not participating in, we are leading the next big change and shift and movement. Thank you, Vina, very much for that. As our world continues to evolve. So we evolve with it, and we evolve in this invite-only social network. So we accelerate the growth in life and business through really 5 deliverables. Those deliverables are training, mastermind, collaboration, events, and opportunity. Those are the overarching deliverables of the WEVO social network. When you become a member, you get access to training, mastermind, collaboration, events, and opportunity. The members in WEVO support other members, and that's where the collaboration comes in. So we're a membership into a high-vibing, thriving tribe. Now, the new sales paradigm, and when I was speaking to this gentleman on the phone yesterday, He said, Brett, tell me, when you're having a conversation with someone, how do you describe this? Because this isn't normal. They're conditioned to think and see the world in a certain way. And what you're doing is you're creating a completely different paradigm. How in the world do you do that? And I said, it all begins with awareness. So what has to happen first is they must commit to membership inside the high vibing, thriving tribe. I have learned that I need to stop spending my time and energy sharing information with people that do not commit to membership inside the high vibing, thriving tribe, because if they don't commit to that, they simply will not change the hypnotic rhythms to adopt the new accurate thought, accurate activity, and accurate habit. And that's why we have membership. So members genuinely care about and support other members. And that's what WEVO is all about. And with that, the purpose of this webinar is to introduce our culture and principles to new potential members. So a call to action to all of you on the call, okay? I want you to start using the domain name wevotribes.com. And I'm asking you to agree to share this on a weekly basis with your contacts through social media, through your database, through email, and start bringing people onto this call. Now, why would you do that? The power, write this down if you're taking notes, the power of high vibing, thriving tribe comes first with quantity and then with quality. You won't get the quality without the quantity. You have to start with quantity. You have to start with the raw material, the resources, to then align effort and energy so that the tribe can achieve its overall objective and each member in the tribe can achieve their overall objective. The quantity creates the quality through the 4 circles of influence. You move people through contact, into database, into real connection, and then inner circle, and that's where the quality comes from. The awareness is the process. In the process, we create awareness. The second objective of this webinar is to educate our existing members on the WEVO DNA. You're not going to get full training on this webinar. It's being built into and delivered right now in our 4 levels of membership. We have 12 levels of membership, and we've restricted access to only 4. You can join at Inception 1, 2, or 3, or you can join in the BizDev Pro program at $99, and then every Tuesday morning you get my training on the Business Development Professional, which is like getting group coaching from me on how to build tribe, but doing it for $99 a month versus $250 an hour plus. So you've got an opportunity to do that, okay? So educating our existing members on the WEVO DNA. This webinar is designed to just give you a touch of that right on the webinar and introduce the concepts to our new guests. If we're not bringing new guests onto the webinar, then we're not going to hit the quantity part of the WEVO tribe expansion, and therefore the quality that comes from the network. Now, are you all quality people? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, if you want to grow and scale something to any size, it's going to depend on the quantity of your network. Your network will determine your net worth, and so we want to expand the tribe. So let's get into the intention for this week. Success begins with awareness. Just get used to this phrase. You're going to hear it over and over and over. It's an overarching tenet of the WEVO secret and the WEVO model, but success begins with awareness, and dreams are realized with aligned effort and energy. Success begins with awareness, and dreams are realized with aligned effort and energy. So WEVO DNA number 1, kicking off a brand new series, and you're going to hear from us throughout the week, and you're going to participate in this content and this awareness, is WEVO DNA number 1. The first point in the WEVO secret is awareness. So let's take a look at what that might be. Success begins with awareness. So Awareness of what? Awareness of who? Let's look at this. Spiritual awareness. Now, I don't know what your beliefs are. It doesn't matter to me. We're not in the judgment business of your religion or your spirituality or, and I'm just going to tell you this right now is that if you haven't read, and I'm working on a new version of this over time, but if you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People, go back and read that book. One thing I hear a lot of is I hear a lot of correcting. It's also called criticizing. And Dale Carnegie says, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. And someone will say something, like I might say, yeah, I'm an old man. And someone will go, don't say that, you're not old. Well, you just criticized. You just corrected. Now, your goal may be that you may be right. I shouldn't say I'm an old man. But when you do this, the minute you criticize or correct, your influence goes down. I don't need my speech corrected by anyone else. I will correct it through my own awareness. What I do need is to remain connected to you. So in awareness, what I would talk about in the area of spiritual awareness or awareness of others or awareness of self or awareness of the planet is this is for you. It's not for anyone else. It's just for you. When you become aware, you can share. You can teach if the student is ready. You can teach if someone comes and wants to know. You can teach if you build influence. But if you butt in and correct or criticize or condemn or complain, then you're losing audience, you're losing influence. And now what you have become spiritually aware of is no longer impactful to the other person because they're not listening, right? I know that's deep and you all probably have some feelings going on about it. But so many times I hear, people correcting other people because they start to build awareness in an area, assume they're right, and then assume it's right for everyone else. Can we just become aware for ourselves? So spiritual awareness is for me to decide what that is. And if I want your input, I will ask. If I want to be corrected, I will ask. All right? Awareness of others, same thing. And that's what I'm talking about in this awareness. As we become aware of others, become aware of the brilliance in people, become aware of the skill that people have, become aware of the unique talents and personalities and gifts that another person has. Become aware of their desires, aspirations, and intentions, and allow them the freedom to be who they are. And that's what I mean by you don't need to correct their speech. You don't need to correct their activity, their habits. The only reason I'm on here talking about accurate thought, activity, and habit is because you elected and gave permission by being on the webinar to listen and for me to instruct. Now, if you remove that permission, you won't attend next week. You won't attend the following weeks. I'm not here to tell you what you're doing is accurate or inaccurate, right or wrong. I'm only here to tell you what I have become aware of that has created the construct of the WEVO secret and high vibing, thriving tribe. You get to decide if it is accurate thought. You get to decide if it is accurate activity and habit. Become aware of others. Become aware of self. As the words are coming out of my mouth with instruction to you, I am convicted of areas that I fall short. I can feel them in my spirit. I'm becoming more aware of myself. Brett, you just told them to do this, but yet 2 days ago, you corrected, you criticized, you condemned, you complained. In fact, I did all four probably brilliantly. So this isn't about, being perfect. It's about waking up. It's about becoming aware. Part of building a harmonic culture, which is the foundation of all collaboration, is to become aware. I love it when people say I'm awakened. I go, oh, so you're not waking up anymore? You got it all. You have it all already. You're completely awakened. I love awakening, and every day more and more. I love becoming aware every day more and more. there is, I can just tell you right now, as the leader of this organization and as a humble human, that I am not awakened. I am awakening every day more and more. I am in the process of evolving. I'm in the process of awareness. I'm in the process of awareness of ego. I'm in the process of awareness of my spirituality. I'm in the process of awareness of others, and brilliantly content with my progress in all of these areas, because it is what it is. It is exactly what it is. And I'm okay with that. Always striving to evolve more. Awareness of self and awareness of the planet. Why the planet? Well, because it is the largest physical manifestation of provision and existence that we have, that we can tangibly feel and see and touch. And just very logically, very simply, the better that is, the better we all are. So spiritual awareness, awareness of others, awareness of self, and awareness of the planet. Awareness of will and resources. Getting a little more practical now. Awareness of your will and your resources. Well, I have a dream. In my dream, I want to have a private jet and a big yacht and a massive house and piles of money. Okay, great. That's your dream, or whatever. Now, let me ask you two questions. Are you aware of your will and resources to achieve that dream? Become aware. And you might find, I lack resources. Okay, are you willing to create the resources to achieve the dream? Are you willing to create the resources to achieve the dream? Well, I have the will, or I have the resources, but I'm low on will. Okay, then maybe you adjust the sweet spot of what you're willing to do. Maybe the jet, the house, and the yacht, and the pile of money are great fantasy, but they're not in your sweet spot because you're not willing. I've seen a lot of people throughout history that have great big dreams. They're not really dreams, they're actually fantasies. And then what happens is they're not willing to put in work. They're not willing to make investments in themselves. They're not willing to be teachable. And they're not even aware of their lack of will. So therefore, year after year after year, deferred from this big dream, they start to translate feelings of failure, inadequacy, insecurity. Just become aware of your will and your resources. Awareness of opportunities on both sides. Oh, this is a wonderful opportunity. Maybe. It depends on how aware you are. It could be an opportunity to distract you from the real opportunity. Awareness of opportunities, both some that you should take advantage of and some that you should not. Okay? Awareness of obstacles. Well, Brett, that's negativity. No, it's not. It's awareness. It's really easy to be very positive about everything. Okay? And rightfully so. You can positively approach negativity. You can positively approach obstacles. You can positively approach challenges, and you can have a perspective to turn them into opportunity. Opportunity for growth, opportunity for change, opportunity for awareness, opportunity to elicit or solicit support. But if you're not aware because you're playing the everything is perfect game, and so I'm just going to glaze over and not look at my obstacles, that's like running, face first at full speed into a brick wall and going, I was positive that I didn't have one. No, you had one. And all you needed to do was recognize it was a brick wall and then positively address it with a plan to overcome it. Awareness of cause and effect. The best teacher of all time, in my opinion, is the higher law, the natural law of reciprocity, or cause and effect, or sowing and reaping, or the law of the harvest, that whatever you plant, you sow. So all you need to do is look at what you're reaping, look at the effect, look at the outcome, and become aware of cause. Become aware of causality. Become aware of what is causing the effect. Now, I said to a team of people that I'm coaching this morning, people are not deferred from success because of a lack of wonderful information that can take them there. They're actually deferred from success because of what they already know. It's what you already know that's keeping you from where you want to go, because you have access to all information at all times. There's not a shortage of that. There's a shortage of people becoming aware of their own causality. You are the reason you win or win bigger. You are the reason that you're not getting what you desire or aspire to or are intentional about. Or you are. I'm going to say this again because I really feel it's probably the statement of the day. We are not deferred from what we desire in our life based on what we do not know. We are deferred from what we desire in our life based on what we already know, and it's called hypnotic rhythm. The hypnotic rhythm of the patterns that are not serving continue to bring us back into their nature, which is rhythm, and those rhythms are keeping us from. You know why I know this? Because I can prescribe day in and day out to the same people over and over. If you make digital contact, you reach out and make it personal and about them, you bring them into a one-on-one meeting, and from that one-on-one meeting, you give them value like Heather was talking about in the beginning. And through that, you build the highest and best outcome, not the outcome you want. The highest and best outcome needs to become the outcome you want. Whatever that is, it may be client, it may be friend, it may be lover, it may be new tribe member, it may be whatever, a resource that you can connect to someone else. But if you would just make the focus to create the highest and best outcome in that meeting, then you're going to build today's currency, which is social currency. If you have social currency, then you get to write a ticket for your dreams. That is today's currency. If you want to deposit in your bank, then deposit social influence into your personal bank so that you can trade it in for your dreams. And I'll teach this over and over and over and over. So, is it a lack of new information? No, people have the information. So what is it that's deferring people from the success? It's not a lack of new information. It's an abundance of the information they already have. And it is so firmly entrenched that it causes them to repeat behavior over and over and over. Today's intention is about awareness. And what I'm going to ask you to be mindful of this week is to observe, wake up, and be aware. Venus sent me this yesterday, and I was just so grateful because I'm going to wrap up with this quick video. And this gentleman really kind of hit the nail on the head. Now, this is one small aspect of WEVO, but there's so much more to our model. But I just love it, looking and bringing. Awesome. Oh, thank you guys. So I just love how this is articulated. So Vina, thank you for contributing and sharing and masterminding with me and adding value to me by sharing this video with me. I want to now share this with you on the call. It's a very short video. Please listen carefully. This is one aspect of High Vibing Thriving Tribe, and he says it better than I could ever say it. So
there's so many people who say that human nature is savage, that if we could rid ourselves of social constraints, we would become animals and literally eat each other alive. But I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think there are sides of us that are quite brutal and quite selfish. But nature has given us many gifts, among them something called the helper's high, the neurobiology of helping others. Literally, acts of compassion, acts of kindness. When we submit, when we volunteer by our own volition to serve other people, to extend our hands towards one another, we get a biological reward. Our brain literally rewards us, secretes pleasure chemicals. It drugs us into bliss to reward us for being kind to one another. I mean, you guys understand what I'm talking about. Our fundamental wiring is there to give us a prize, right? To give us a reward, to be kind and collaborative and cooperative with one another. This is known as the helper's high. It's what people say that nothing gives them as much satisfaction as helping other people. Now, it makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint that we would have inherited this biochemical reward for working and collaborating with other people because we take care of our tribe and we're more likely to survive by working together. All good. The science is there. I love it. But it's the metaphysical dimension that really turns me on. It's turning to this wiring during moments of despair, when we think the world is going to hell, when we fear that what is out of sight is out of mind, and we feel that the world perhaps lacks compassion. I mean, watching the media these days certainly makes you feel that way. And I guess what I'm saying is that it's during these moments that we might turn to this awareness, to this notion that no, my friends, that our fundamental nature is good, that our fundamental wiring is set up in a way to give us gifts, to shower us with blessings for being kind to one another. At the risk of repeating myself, I guess what I'm saying is, it is its own reward. Do not seek external payment. Trust in the inner satisfaction that you will get by offering your life to some higher purpose. Find the need that's lacking in the world and turn your passion into a purpose. And I don't know, I mean, that's the kind of thing that certainly makes me willing to get up in the morning, to believe that, that by making a fundamental difference in someone else's life, I'm also getting off. That's not a bad thing.
So with that, it has been a pleasure to be on with you guys. We're going to wrap up this week. Next week, we'll be on the second WEVO DNA, and just a pleasure to be with you guys. But I just wish you a week of really observing and becoming aware. What I said today is not right. It's not wrong. It's not even accurate for you yet. It is just meant to create awareness, even if it conflicts with something you believe and you discover a whole different truth. That's the whole point. There's not a set rule here. The rule is wake up, become aware, and observe, and just say, when I do this, am I getting the outcome that I really desire in my life? When I put in this, when I protect this opinion so strongly, am I getting this outcome that I want in my life? When I approach people this way, am I getting the outcome that I want in my life? Well, you're not lacking the tools to move forward and change that. We're deferred because of what we already know. Be open. That's the process of waking up. Love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful week. And next week, let's get 50 people on this thing and start really, really creating some positive change, okay?
Gratitude indeed. Champions.
Thank you, Brett.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate all of you.
Brett, that was amazing.
You all.
You guys are incredible. Thank you, Dee. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful week. West Side Deli. Go stop by West Side Deli in Sedona, and Galena Fine Jewelers. Diamonds for everybody.
Okay, I'll take mine.
Knock life out of the ballpark.
I love you guys. Have a beautiful week.